So I sent you guys a document, which is the 5 steps to healing. That document I actually share with my clients. The 5 steps, because I want them to know where we're going. With you guys, I'm going to elaborate a bit more on this document. Okay? What I explain to my clients are the 5 steps. Number 1, which is so important, and Loreto had a question the other day that was similar to this. They need to want to make the change, and most importantly, they need to be committed. If they are not committed to this work, it's just, you know, it's like sticking only your toe into something and then going, I don't know, I think I'm not going to be able to learn to swim, you know. It's like they've got to go in and go full on. The same as you guys. If you guys want to do this work and learn this work, you need to get committed, grab someone and test it, right? Go full in and really do the work. So if I have a client that, you know, we've done that first session of relaxation, and the next session, they haven't listened to the relaxing tapes, which their first, you know, I explained the science in that first session. So between us, we have, you know, that first session, which is really informing the client about the science, right, behind all this. And also explaining to them, like parasympathetic, that the only moment that we heal is when we're relaxed. If they don't give themselves at least those 18 minutes of relaxation a day, it's like having a fever and continuing to work. It's not going to heal. When you have a cold, you know you got to, you know, get yourself warmed up, put on that blankie, and give your body the possibility, right? So they have got to be committed, and they have to know there's going to be an effort. They have to go through a process of healing. Okay. The second point I explained to them, and that's what we have been learning in the sessions. So we inform them, right? In the first session, we inform them about the science, the parasympathetic, and in that second, so that's the session 1. In the session 2, they inform us, right, about their reality. How emotionally they sense their disease, how they feel about it, what they fear, you know, the history. We're getting a lot of information, right? Then this second one that I explained to them is we need to understand, and they need to understand, what is the deeper causes of their illness, both of the illness, but of each symptom as well. What is their body trying to tell them, right? How are we doing that in the sessions we've been doing? We have reviewed that investigation session. Remember the session number 3, talk to the disease, go into the subconscious, and you talk to the disease. We're going to go in and find out everything. And so we do sessions that we're going to go in the subconscious and talk to the disease. We're going to go into the subconscious and we're going to talk to each symptom. We're going to go into the subconscious, and we're not able to cover this in the sessions, but one of the other places you can find information from the subconscious is their greatest fear. Their greatest fear usually is right up the alley of what their shadow is. You'll actually go into, well, we'll get into more, right? So they need to go, I will tell them, we're going to do a lot of work on really understanding the cause of what happened, the cause of what's, you know, the disease is expressing, and then they need to make those changes in their lives of whatever the disease has said is missing in their life, is not developed in their life. We as the practitioners, we know that we're going to do sessions, investigation sessions, to go talk to the subconscious. And once we get the information of limiting beliefs, identity, conflicts, all those elements, right? limiting beliefs, the conflicts of parts, the shadow, all those elements, and other things that'll come out, which will be someone that needs to be forgiven because there's anger, there's regret, there's shame. What are we going to do? We need to take all this, and we do those sessions that I called the work, right? So we get the information from the subconscious, we get some information from them, we do the work of transforming all those limiting beliefs, removing the conflict so there's not a conflict from the left side to the right side. Yes, Paul.
Are we on the 5 points? I'm getting lost because I don't see that on here.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually extrapolating. So this is what I give my clients. This is what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
So then the session 3, we go in and talk to the disease. Then session probably 4, 5, and 6 with them, we do work with what came out of the session from the disease. Then we say, I need more material. We go in and we do another session and talk to symptoms. And then we do again, maybe 8, 9. We don't have much more. We go and talk to another symptom. Or we go and say, I really didn't pick up that big shadow. I'm going to talk to their greatest fear. I can probably hit that shadow. And so we do another session, maybe session 10. We go into their greatest fear. We get a lot of information of what that greatest fear is. We go in and we talk, we do another NLP sessions to get the limiting beliefs about that or that shadow work. We keep going back and forth, right? So this is one piece of your work. It's almost like if this was the work you do with your client, you did session 1 and 2, which is information. Then you did all these sessions, which is get the information, work on it, get information, work on it, get information, work on it, right? This is like resolution. All those issues that they have. Then point 3, I explained to them, we're going, you want them to commit and you want to get information. That's the point 1 I explained to them. Point 2, I explained to them, you want to understand the deeper cause and we got to resolve it and they've got to do lifestyle changes. Then what do? We need to address the obstacles to healing. If they believe that they don't deserve to heal, you can be the most magnificent NLP and hypnotherapist, that it will stay in place. If they believe life has to be hard, they won't heal. If they believe that if their grandmother had it and their mother had it, I'm supposed to have it, they won't heal. So the next piece of the work is going to be to remove obstacles. Because you might have gotten into resolution, but I have clients that after a session, their symptoms start going down, their symptoms start going down, and then it goes up. And then their symptoms go down, and then their symptoms go down, and then it goes up. And you're like, what is going on? Their doctor says they have to live with it. Society says it's incurable. And Jamie, okay.
Thanks. So this obstacles to healing one, are you referring to this? Is this like, are you saying like, this is just kind of happening all along because as we're doing these investigations, we're finding limiting beliefs? Or are you saying you do like a whole separate session that's like, I'm addressing the obstacles to healing, which are that it's hereditary, my doctor said it's not curable, et cetera, et cetera. And then if that is a separate session, it sounds like it is, or it looks like it is, then when are you doing this? It seems like it should be something that happens right in the beginning, right? Because you're trying to do all this healing. But like if we had all along these limiting beliefs that like they can't be healed.
Well, you want to do both. Our demo of breast cancer, it was actually her 4th session. I was all ready to do, we'd gotten so much information about, what needed to happen. She needed to forgive. She needs to be happy. She shouldn't be thinking of the negative of the past. So I'm like, I'm going to do at least 3 or 4 sessions on forgiveness, regret, there's some, and she comes into the session and she comes in with, pretty much thinking, oh, the anniversary's about to happen now. What if I'm not going to get better? What if I am going to get what my mom's, what if I am going to get full-blown breast cancer? Like my mom, and I thought, okay, this is the moment to start this today.
So do you not feel like to me, it just seems like that has to be removed first. And you don't feel like
they will actually improve in the beginning. As you do this, there's going to be an improvement. The thing is, there's going to be improvement, and then it would go down if there's obstacles.
But so why do you not address the obstacles in the first place then, before you even delve into all the other stuff?
Because I want them to see that they're improving. Okay. I want them to get the buy-in.
Okay.
If they come in and say, look, all these reasons why I can't heal, then they're like, all the reasons why I can't heal, we'll never do this.
Okay, got it.
I want to get their buy-in. I want them to notice, wow, I'm doing this work. I'm starting to, change stuff in my life, and I'm noticing a difference.
Okay.
And the minute there's a bit of what if this doesn't work? Obstacles to healing. Let's start.
Okay. Yeah, because I would assume that everybody comes in with those. I mean, no, if you've grown up in our Western society, you don't walk into hypnotherapy thinking, I'm going to heal myself with my brain. You just don't.
Exactly. And the doctors are so, let me move this way. The doctors are always protecting their own back. They don't want to give you positive, comfort. Oh, don't worry about it. They're going to this might not work. You better start, preparing yourself for it. There's a wonderful obstacle to make this happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're working on all the obstacles. One interesting obstacle is the need to take something. A lot of my clients with MS, before they started working with me, they quit the standard medication because it's so toxic. They have so many secondary, effects and things, and so they quit. But they've been taking this thing, and they've been told, you've got to take this, you've got to stab yourself in the thigh, you've got to take this, just in case it's actually slowing it down. So when they're not taking it, there's a part of them that's like, if I'm not taking this, I'm responsible for it, not slowing down. So we'll be talking about a piece that you'll be sticking in different places, just like the obstacles. We'll stick it in wherever, which are called rituals. We need rituals. We need something, that pill we take daily that says, I'm doing this for my health. I'm doing this to get well. So this is a ritual, and this is the remedy, which is what I explain to my client. They need to have a healing remedy, something they do. They do to keep them healthy. There was this great article, and again, we'll talk more detail next week. There's this great article of people that are over 100. Ask any one of them, what is your remedy to live so long? They each have one. I drink my grandfather drank a glass of whiskey. That was his remedy. That's what I do every day to keep me fit and to keep me, longevity. Another one will say, my remedy, I walk every day to go buy the newspaper. Everyone's got these things they do that they attribute to keeping them healthy. And we're going to have them attribute to making them healthy. And then the last thing I explained to them, and that we'll be doing together, will be having a compelling future. One of their obstacles is they can't even imagine who they are without their disease. One of the obstacles is, what would I do with myself if I wasn't managing all my medical appointments? What would I do with myself, or how would my relationship be with my husband if he's not taking care of me 24/7? So in a nutshell, and now we'll go into more detail of the sessions. In a nutshell, you're receiving and giving information. I'm serious, and you're receiving the information. This is my world. You're doing investigation sessions to get the information from the subconscious, because they're going to tell you, they're going to inform you why they think they're sick. But that's the conscious level. You're going to go into the subconscious and find shadow work. You're going to find things that they're not even aware of as an issue. And then you're going to do that work. So that is that big number 2 piece. And then additionally, from doing this repair and resolution of the stuff to create wholeness, is you're going to get rid of obstacles, all the nocebos, the diagnosis, and then rituals. I guess maybe I should just put this as a almost one in itself, because they do require, and listening to your recording is a ritual. I'm doing this for healing. And then after a while, you want them to create a ritual that they can do from here on out, like the 100-year-olds. One of my clients with MS, her ritual is to walk by the sea every day, about 20 minutes to half an hour. And to keep herself walking because she enjoys the walk, not to make it to 4 blocks. That's her ritual, is to remind her she walks for the pure enjoyment of it, not to achieve something. MS has very much A-type personality, so it's her way of reminding herself, you got to do things just for the pure pleasure of them. That's her daily ritual. And then in our last week, we'll be talking about compelling future. Their disease and their past has been keeping them back. You want something in the future to motivate them forward. You want to create the why. Why am I doing this work? Why do I want to heal? Why do I want to commit to all this work with you? Because this is who you're going to become. You'll be creating this with a lot of the resources that they're gaining. So you might do this twice, after about session 8 or 9, and then way at the end, you'll do it again. And this is extremely empowering, both for them and for their subconscious, where we're going. Okay, so this is the future. Pulls them forward. Okay, so this is the work in a nutshell. Anyone have any questions? Yes, Craig.
So to translate it for my own brain, it looks like part of healing always has some kind of placebo effect, meaning the brain is looking for evidence that whatever we are doing is going to heal us or help us to earn money or to get over social issues. And then if I understand, the nocebos is just the flip side. It is the obstacle. It is the resistance. It is the doctors or my wife or my friends. Even if they have good intentions, it throws a roadblock and derails me along the path. The placebo sent me here, the evidence, the rituals, and the nocebo threw me into a different path, and I end up not getting well.
Yep. I'll give you an example. One of my clients with MS, we were doing great. She was getting stronger. She was getting out of her wheelchair more. She was washing her own hair. And she had built this standing contraption, kind of like my contraption that's holding my board here, so that she can stand 15 minutes a day instead of sitting in the wheelchair. Great, all this, we were building so much. She was feeling like a lot of stuff is getting resolved. And she goes to her doctor with her best friend who had a driver there. And her best friend asks her doctor, wow, she's doing so well. Do you think, maybe she'll be able to walk again? She's now able to stand 15 minutes. And the doctor goes, that's just temporary. She'll be right back in her wheelchair. The next morning, she calls me. She can't even get out of bed.
Thought virus.
So I had to go to her house and we did a phasphobia. That's one of the ways that you're going to work with them. We did a phasphobia of that last meeting with her doctor. Then
Perfect.
the behavior generator. And we had her doctor say, well, in my very narrow scope of understanding, and so
Right.
we had him act like an idiot and created a new, I shouldn't be doing that because, I shouldn't create my own enemies here, but, we had him act like an idiot and she was able to build herself up again.
Very good. Thanks. I get it.
Yes, Loreto.
Okay, so with this nocebo thing, can you teach them to refrain? Because I'm saying that just because my own experience with my brain surgery, I had my brain surgery, then I met Tim Halbon, start taking the practitioner NLP, then I have to go for another year to do things. Doctors scares you a lot, and I reframe everything, everything. So can I teach them that?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And they have to realize I'm going to an expert, but that expert is not an expert in me. That is an expert in his field. And his field has this, but does not have this.
Yeah.
Because
in my case, what I do, I say, oh, that's what they say.
Exactly. Cancel, I always, when someone says something that they're like, you better do this. And I'm like, cancel, 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 cancel. Undo.
Yeah.
I'm like a computer. Undo, cancel, cancel. Nope, I'm not taking that one in. That's not in my,
Thank you.
And then I say, and now that I've not taken his, now I have to decide what do I want to believe and then show myself my own word. If I believe I can do this, then I better go and do it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Mary Ellen, yes. Hello. Yes.
Hi. I want to, can I circle back to Craig's comments and your answers?
Yes.
And I want to make sure I'm clear. Thank you. I'm clear on belief. So if something is coming up again, doesn't that mean that we didn't change the belief? And is changing belief an ongoing process? You have to keep going back and changing incrementally, or when a belief is actually changed, they have a new perspective and you can call it a belief change. Do you understand my question?
So giving you an example of our other demo, the biggest driver of the MS is the need to be perfect. So we did the 4-step belief process of I need to be perfect. We changed it. We did the shadow. I want to see failure. We talked to failure. Definitely lowered perfection, right? You can go back to the past, right? Regression therapy. Take us back to, it was when his dad was when he was 4 years old and his dad, he was performing, in the living room. This is what I'm going to do in school. I'm the whatever, right? And his dad kind of scorned him, like all these little seeds about perfection. And we worked on them. But then what's happened, which was so interesting, I part of me wanted to take my notebook and just go, because we'd worked so hard. And he got a new project proposal, right? He's quit the job. He's now working on what he loves to do, which is video and creativity. And he gets an offer. By the time he finished, he didn't have a good time from the minute they proposed this project to when he finished. He was so stressed because he wanted to do it, perfect. He didn't want to let them down. So now we know it's about letting down too. That's another, let's say, part of the perfection we hadn't worked on. He's like, I can't let them down. It's like, and what happened was he almost put himself in an exacerbation. He had all his MS symptoms kick up. And we've been working for 10 months. Every symptom went straight up. It was beautiful because I witnessed his pattern, just all of it. He just fell right into his old, patterns. He got this proposal and he just went right in, narrowed and it was, for me, it was, frustrating. I wanted to hit him and at the same time, so exciting. and to help him see it. You know, we did a fast phobia, the whole event. And then he got to see it from the outside. We sold it to Hollywood. He got to see another actor play the part. He realized what he had done. And then we did a new behavior generator. And then I recorded the new behavior generator. I recorded a different way of doing that. So, and then have him look at the next time he gets a proposal, how he can. So again, to answer your question, there might be layers, especially when it's the biggie, especially when it's, when we went into his disease, it talked about perfection. When we went into the obstacle, it talked about perfection. It's a biggie. It's going to take some sessions. There's layers to it.
Thank you. I actually, am I still on?
Yeah.
I worked with a client today. She's 78 years old. She has glaucoma, and in the first session, what she recognized that she shifted from this being an genetically inherited illness when all of her mother had glaucoma and all of her sisters have glaucoma along with her. And she shifted to a huge aha and insight into, this could be a learned disease, behavior and thinking for disease. And today we did a lot of work, and right at the end of the session, she said, there's something spooky happening. And I said, okay, well, it was just Halloween. You have an orange shirt on. What's spooky? And she said, I have a greater awareness beyond me. And with glaucoma, that's cut out. So there she was on the edge of letting go of the disease. And I watched as her belief system that I thought we had worked with started denying that possibility.